Gio swung the poison pill towards Theo, intentionally hitting one of the attendants. The attendant let out a scream in pain. Gio observed the situation and remarked that the poison seemed to be properly made, as the attendant was still breathing but paralyzed. He expressed frustration at the complexity of creating the lesser devil poison, noting that while it wasn't lethal, it was challenging to produce. Despite the consequence, Gio appeared pleased with the outcome. Gio offered Theo a reward and asked what he desired. Theo humbly declined, stating that he wouldn't dare to ask for a reward as he was content. Gio, wanting to have some fun, insisted that Theo choose something, as he was too lazy to ask again. He urged Theo to quickly decide and share what he wanted as a reward. Theo, with a determined expression, mentioned that if he had to choose a reward, he would like his pouch of abundance returned. Inside the pouch were valuable items, including a dharma tool he cherished and tools for Dan extraction. He explained that using a familiar tool might expedite the process of creating the lesser devil poison. Gio expressed surprise at Theo's claim that having the pouch of abundance would speed up the process of creating the poison. He then instructed Sue to return Theo's pouch of abundance. Sue acknowledged the order and agreed to return the pouch to Theo. Gio noted that he had recently finished crafting Dan pills from his uncle's Niden. He mentioned that he would need to spend the next year absorbing the pill's energy. In the meantime, he instructed Theo to continue making the lesser devil poison during this period. Gio turned to the new girl and inquired about her name, to which she introduced herself as Violet. Gio assigned her to work with Theo in creating the lesser devil poison in the future. He encouraged Violet to learn from Theo about aspects she was unfamiliar with, ensuring she understood how to correctly prepare the recipe for the poison and demonstrate her capabilities. Violet acknowledged her understanding of the task assigned to her. Theo felt relief at the unexpected reprieve of a year. He realized that this was his chance to find a way out of his predicament, knowing that if he didn't act now, he might not get another opportunity. Determined to seize the moment, he resolved to strategize an escape plan. In the medicine room, Theo pondered the untouched contents of the pouch of abundance. He wondered if the items held within were considered useless to ancient dragons like Gio. Reflecting on his own limitations, he acknowledged the challenges ahead, realizing that nothing would come easy as his power was still lacking. Violet confronted Theo, noting his intentions to escape from the place. She revealed that Sister Sue, who had been observing Theo closely, was someone Violet had followed during her time in the riverside village. Sue informed Violet that Theo had stolen ingredients from the medicine room and was attempting to create something different from the intended lesser devil poison. Theo explained that he was simply trying to defy the fate imposed on him by others. He expressed concern that once Violet learned the method of the Dan extraction technique and could create the lesser devil poison independently, he would become dispensable. Theo emphasized the consequences of being deemed useless by the ancient dragon, indicating that all of his subordinates were women, suggesting he was kept alive to instruct Violet. Violet responded, cautioning Theo that even if he managed to escape, he would succumb to death within half a month without the antidote. Theo explained that he had been attempting to break through the gates of spirit energy using stolen ingredients to prepare medicine beneficial for his heavenly birth. Furthermore, he revealed that he had successfully created the antidote for the ancient dragon's poison. Surprised by this revelation, Violet sought confirmation, asking if Theo had indeed produced the antidote. Sue walked towards the medicine room and commented to Theo, acknowledging his unusual talent. Theo, changing his appearance from that of a woman to a man, expressed discomfort at revealing this side of himself to Sue. He explained that he had no option but to assume her form as she had asked him to come secretly. Sue, informed by Violet, questioned Theo about the creation of the antidote. In response, Theo doubted that Gio would provide the antidote and questioned why he should passively wait for his own demise. Theo inquired about Sue's reason for not informing Gio about his theft of the ingredients. Sue revealed that there was a potent magic trap called the Dragon Line Windstorm at the sole entrance to the cave, a safeguard passed down in the ancient dragon family. Perplexed, Theo questioned why Sue was disclosing this information. Sue simply stated that the reason was unimportant and urged Theo to concentrate on whether he could leave the place or not. Theo acknowledged Sue's statement and refrained from further questioning. He then inquired about how to navigate through the magic trap. Sue explained that only 8 maids knew the direct path through the trap, all of whom were alchemists well-versed in the law of spirit energy. While the likelihood of them betraying Gio and aiding Theo was slim, Sue suggested that since Theo had discovered a way to detoxify the poison, he might be able to persuade one of them. She assured Theo that she would arrange for him to meet with the maids, advising him to be prepared for the meeting at any given time. Theo expressed gratitude and assured Sue that he would repay the favor. Sue kindly replied that there was no need for repayment. However, she expressed a hope that if Theo managed to escape, he would assist Violet to prevent her from facing a situation similar to Sue's. Sue introduced Theo to the other lady-in-waiting, Sasha, mentioning that he was the alchemist they had discussed. She explained that Sasha was intrigued by their previous conversation, so she arranged the meeting. Sasha acknowledged the discussion about Theo's ability to detoxify the Lord's poison. Theo confirmed this ability, stating that he could detoxify the treacherous fifth poison and was fortunate to know how to create the antidote. Sasha expressed her concern, questioning how she could trust Theo and why she should believe that he would provide her with the antidote when it could jeopardize all their lives. Theo responded by highlighting his extensive knowledge of the lesser devil poison, indicating that he could even enhance the recipe. He further explained that his prior awareness of the poison's existence made creating the antidote an easier task. Sasha pointed out that Theo had finished creating the lesser devil poison much earlier, which pleased Lord Geo. However, she questioned how that guaranteed the completeness of the antidote. Theo posed a question to Sasha, inquiring if everyone, including herself, believed that Geo would emerge victorious in his life and death battle with Jack. He emphasized that if Geo were to lose, they would all be unable to be detoxified from the poison, leading to their demise. Sasha, realizing the gravity of the situation, admitted her rudeness and acknowledged the risk their lives were under. Sasha acknowledged Theo's careful consideration of the situation and agreed to listen to his request. She questioned whether his plea involved her aiding in his escape from the cave. Theo reassured her that he did not seek an escape while Geo was absent, as it would only provoke Geo's anger towards Sasha and the other ladies in waiting. Instead, Theo revealed that what he desired was actually the opposite. Perplexed, Sasha inquired about this opposite request. Theo explained that since he knew he wouldn't be able to escape alive, he asked for a different outcome, for Sasha to kill him. Geo drank the pill, causing an explosion that damaged the door. Arrogantly, he remarked on the unexpected power of the pill and its potential for defeating Jack easily. He then turned to Sue and inquired whether nothing significant had occurred while he was engrossed in practicing his breathing technique. Sue hesitated in her response. Geo was shocked to hear that the individual responsible for creating the lesser devil poison had passed away. He questioned why this had occurred and whether the antidote was not administered in time. Sasha begged for mercy and apologized, explaining that Violet, who had been tasked with learning the Dan extraction techniques, had enhanced her skills. Theo had feared becoming obsolete, attempted to escape the cave, and tragically lost his life after being swept away by the Dragon Line windstorm. Geo inquired about the assignment he had entrusted to the deceased individual. Sasha explained that before his attempted escape, Theo diligently crafted 10 pots of lesser devil poison. Additionally, he effectively taught Violet the recipe, enabling her to independently create the poison. Geo inquired about Theo's demise, and Sasha informed him that they discovered his corpse the previous day. Geo callously remarked that he had intended to eliminate Theo after completing his training, considering it less effort on his part as Theo had chosen to end his own life. He instructed Sasha to dispose of Theo's body outside the cave for the fiends to consume, to which Sasha agreed to carry out the order. In the forest, a wolf approached the body on the ground, but as the hand moved, the wolf fled. Theo, watching from afar, felt relieved that Geo didn't detect his presence due to his excellent stealth technique. He reflected on finally escaping from the dreadful ant hell but realized he couldn't celebrate just yet. With Geo and Jack scheduled for their life and death battle after the full moon, Theo knew it was crucial to remain focused and prepared. Theo, flying on a sword, focused on his primary objective of locating Jack's cave promptly. Upon discovering a fiery location, he descended to the ground, recognizing it as the place his master had described. Theo deduced that this was Jack's residence, implying that the entrance would be safeguarded by the Dragon Line windstorm. Confident in his ability to bypass the trap, Theo knew he couldn't afford to hesitate and needed to act swiftly. Theo realized that the flame windstorm was stronger than he had anticipated. He understood that he needed to navigate through 7 gates amidst the tornadoes, which proved challenging even with his knowledge of how to overcome the obstacle. Determined to pass through the Dragon Line windstorm, Theo sprinted towards the narrow gap between the tornadoes, aiming to successfully navigate the treacherous path. Acknowledging that while Theo had managed to pass through the windstorm, Exiting later would pose difficulties. Recognizing the power of Harold's Niden that Geo had absorbed, Theo estimated a 90% chance of Geo emerging victorious. Understanding the urgency of the situation, Theo realized he needed to locate the teleportation portal before Geo arrived at Jack's location to eliminate him. After 2 days of relentless searching, Theo couldn't locate anything resembling the teleportation portal. Frustrated, he questioned whether this cave truly housed the portal, considering the possibility that the alchemist his first master met had deceived him. Feeling the weight of risking his life to enter the cave, Theo expressed anger by picking up a stone and hurling it into the lava in frustration. Theo, taken aback by the lava, observed its heat and liquid form, deducing it to be hot lava. The unsettling sound added to his unease. Using a Dharma tool, he placed it on the lava's surface, realizing that the lava didn't behave as expected. Instead of sinking into the lava, it felt more like the tool was submerged in a lake. Theo struggled to measure the depth, unable to reach the bottom even after his attempts. Theo found the situation perplexing as the Dharma tool didn't melt but instead seemed to submerge in water despite the appearance of hot lava. Feeling a sense of fear, he cautiously extended his hand to touch the substance, confirming that it appeared to be hot lava but was, in fact, a lake of water. Theo pondered the deception of the eyes and suspected there might be a hidden secret behind this phenomenon. Determined to unravel the mystery, he knew he had to investigate further to uncover the truth. Theo swam through the lake of water, discovering the hidden teleportation portal. Surprised by the elaborate measures taken to conceal it, he realized his master was correct. The teleportation portal was indeed located here. Observing the portal, Theo recalled his master's advice about using spirit stones based on travel distance. Contemplating where to place them, he considered estimating the journey's length to calculate the necessary amount of spirit stones. With 30 middle-class spirit stones and 80 low-class spirit stones at hand, Theo deliberated on the importance of having enough spirit stones for his escape, acknowledging the risk of waste by using more than necessary. Striving to exit the forest of beasts, he realized that all the middle-class spirit stones had been depleted faster than expected. Concerned by the rapid consumption rate, Theo reluctantly discarded the remaining spirit stones to fuel the teleportation process. Theo, realizing the urgency of the situation, decided to activate the portal using his own power, despite the risks. However, as he channeled his energy, he noticed it depleting rapidly. Overwhelmed by the strain, Theo eventually lost consciousness and collapsed towards the portal. In the process, his necklace fell into the portal, absorbing energy from it. Theo woke up in Jeonying Nation, District Li, feeling disoriented. Confused by his surroundings and the presence of a blanket, he realized he had lost consciousness after teleporting through the portal. To his dismay, he discovered that the gates of heaven were shut, indicating a significant loss of his spiritual and latent powers. As he assessed his current state, Theo noted that his level had dropped to the 5th stage of the Dan extraction technique, highlighting the extent of his power depletion. Theo recalling his first master's teachings about potential regressions in power levels. Despite the setback, he retained his experience and knowledge from breaking through the gate, giving him confidence in regaining his original level in due time. While remaining patient, Theo acknowledged his temporary amnesia regarding how he arrived in his current location. Theo was startled when a man approached him, exclaiming that he had woken up. Confused by the man's words, Theo inquired about the language being spoken. The man, speaking in a different language, expressed surprise at not recognizing Theo's language and questioned if he came from another country. Despite having heard various languages before, the man was unable to identify the unfamiliar language Theo was speaking. Theo realized that the language being spoken was not from Yeongnam Nation, where the masters resided, indicating that he had been teleported to another country. The man, noticing Theo's confusion, offered to call a translator from the hotel who would be able to understand and communicate with him effectively. 5 months later, Juno approached Theo, asking if he was ready. Theo confirmed his readiness, mentioning that the attendant had just informed him about their imminent departure. Impressed, Juno inquired about Theo's remarkable fluency in Jeonying Nation's language within 3 months. Theo credited both Juno and the attendant for their significant help in his language acquisition. Theo inquired about their destination and the reason for bringing a sizable group of people along. Juno teasingly remarked on Theo's late awareness, questioning if he had prepared for the journey without knowing their destination. Juno explained that their wise master in District Li had been unwell for some time, prompting the young master, Miss Juliana, to seek herbal medicine at an open market in Mount Wenshu. Theo questioned the choice of going to an open market in Mount Wenshu for herbal medicine instead of a closer market. Juno whispered that Mount Wenshu was a special place, as he had heard that the immortals were the ones running the market there. Surprised, Theo asked Juno to confirm if he had indeed mentioned immortals. Juliana, seated in a carriage, inquired about the remaining distance to their destination. Neil, the attendant, informed her that they had 2 more days of travel before arriving. Juliana expressed her excitement about the possibility of meeting immortals at the market, hoping not to be disappointed after traveling a long distance. Neil reassured her, explaining that the market was frequented by low-level immortals, making it accessible to ordinary people. He shared his experience of visiting the market a few times and was confident that the herbal medicine needed to cure the master would be available there. At the market, Juliana inquired about the care taken with the items they brought. Juno assured her that he had taken excellent care of the items, valuing them more than his own life and ensuring they were well maintained. Impressed by Juno's skill in inspecting herbs, Juliana tasked him with examining the available herbs to identify any that they could use. Juno confirmed that he had been inspecting the herbs but noted that there were some unfamiliar varieties among them. Theo realized that most of the herbs were sacred, making it challenging for Juno to recognize them. Juno expressed his concern, asking Juliana for guidance on their next steps. Feeling the weight of their mission to find a cure for her father's illness, Juliana emphasized the urgency of the situation, stating that they couldn't return empty-handed as her father's condition would deteriorate with each passing day. Juliana approached the merchant and inquired about a particular herb, asking about its identity and effects. Juno, whispering to Theo, remarked on Juliana's usual indifference towards others, noting that her direct inquiry indicated a sense of urgency. He pondered whether the immortal merchant would be willing to engage in trade with Juliana. The merchant observed Juliana and her companions, identifying them as ordinary people rather than immortals. Juliana sought clarification on the implications of being labeled as ordinary individuals. The merchant explained that ordinary people were those who had not embarked on the path of transcendence like immortals. Concerned about how their status as ordinary people might impact their trading, Juliana questioned whether it would pose a problem. The merchant, with a hint of amusement, assured her that he would address her question without delay, acknowledging the long day they had all experienced. The merchant emphasized the essence of a marketplace as a location for exchanging desired goods, regardless of the immortal's involvement in opening it. Juliana, with a bright smile, explained her quest for a potent herb to combat a debilitating illness that drained energy daily, expressing the urgency of the situation concerning her father's health. The merchant recommended bitter root ginseng to Juliana for the illness affecting her father. He explained that while it didn't enhance spiritual power, it was highly effective in nourishing the soul. Surprised by this revelation, Juliana questioned if it was suitable for an ordinary person like her to buy it. The merchant reassured her, mentioning that the effects would be even more beneficial for ordinary individuals like her. Impressed by Juliana's sincerity, the merchant offered to trade the bitter root ginseng for 1 low-level spirit stone. Juliana, unfamiliar with low-level spirit stones, questioned their nature. Theo, observing the interaction, appreciated the merchant's kindness in the trade and hoped that Juliana wouldn't encounter any difficulties during the exchange. Juliana instructed Juno to bring out the chest containing the gold bars. She offered the merchant the gold bars instead of the low-level spirit stone, even proposing to pay with more gold and jewels. However, the merchant reiterated his requirement for 1 low-level spirit stone, emphasizing the importance of spirit stones over gold and jewels in their transaction. He reminded Juliana that a trade involved exchanging items that each party desired, highlighting the significance of understanding the basics of trading and not offering something deemed useless in return. Feeling disheartened, Juliana expressed her disappointment in the carriage, reflecting on their efforts and ultimately not being able to make a purchase. Juno noticed her dejected state and shared his observation with Theo, remarking on Juliana's visible heartbreak. He recounted her dedicated attempts over the past few days to secure herbs from the immortals at the market, only to come away empty-handed. Theo, reflecting on the situation, acknowledged that he was able to purchase dharma tools and sacred herbs thanks to Juliana's efforts. Grateful for the care he received from them in Jeonying Nation, he decided to use this opportunity to repay their kindness. Juno expressed his concern about the master's deteriorating health, fearing that something dire might occur if the situation worsened. Theo reassured Juno, expressing faith in the Elder Master's abundance of good virtues that would aid in his recovery. Juno sought confirmation from Theo, emphasizing the Elder Master's kindness and hoping for his well-being. Theo maintained his belief that the Master would indeed recover. Two mysterious men, Kale and Azul, hiding in the bushes. Kale mentioned that they had been following this carriage for a few days. Azul agreed, highlighting the need to avoid drawing attention in the market to prevent potential attacks from other alchemists. Kale emphasized the importance of waiting until the alchemists were not present before making a move, urging a swift defeat of the humans to claim their treasures. Theo and Juno were taken aback by the chaos erupting among the troops, with shouts of the ground suddenly being set ablaze and confusion over a possible attack. Amidst the commotion, Kale flew through the air, questioning the reason for the uproar. The troops, in a mix of fear and awe, exclaimed about the appearance of the immortals. Kale, unfazed, taunted them, declaring their intent to eliminate everyone present. The troops questioned the ominous statement made by Kale. Juliana stepped out of the carriage, addressing Kale and Azul, identifying herself as the daughter of the head of the estate and the county magistrate of District Lee. She offered her treasure to them if they desired it. Azul acknowledged Juliana's cleverness, while Kale remarked on her beauty with a smirk. Juliana explained that the treasure she possessed was intended to buy medicine for her critically ill father. She offered more money if any of them could cure her father's illness. Kale, finding Juliana's words amusing, acknowledged her cleverness but expressed no intention of helping. Instead, he proposed a troubling alternative, suggesting Juliana become their concubine in exchange for sparing her life. Shocked by the proposition, Juliana expressed her disbelief at the suggestion. Kale threatened to burn everything except the treasure and Juliana. Theo leaped into action. With a swift swing of his sword, he moved to protect the troops from harm, approaching Azul and Kale. Surprised by Theo's sudden intervention, Azul questioned his identity as Theo swung his sword towards him. Witnessing Theo's incredible skill, Kale was taken aback and realized he was outmatched. Overwhelmed by Theo's prowess, Kale recognized him as an alchemist far superior to himself. Fearing for his life, Kale humbly pleaded for mercy, vowing never to cross paths with Theo again. Unmoved by Kale's pleas, Theo acknowledged the situation and defeated him, emphasizing his tendency not to leave any potential threats unresolved. At Juliana's residence, there was a celebration with food and dances. Theo expressed his gratitude for the hospitality shown to him, feeling ashamed for receiving kindness without reciprocating. Juliana reassured Theo, stating that his presence had been a great help to her and her people. She expressed her family's immense gratitude towards him for the assistance provided. Theo acknowledged Juliana's kindness in bringing him in and caring for him when he was a stranger lying on the mountain road. He emphasized his belief in repaying favors and offered his help, asking Juliana to share any requests she might have. Excited by the offer, Juliana eagerly responded, eager to express her desires. Juliana pointed out her father lying on the floor, explaining his unstable breathing and persistent pain even in sleep. She shared that local doctors had attempted to treat him but were unable to identify the cause of his illness. Theo, upon examining Juliana's father, sensed a latent venomous insect in his stomach. He was puzzled by how a parasitic creature with latent poison could reside in the body, especially at the lowest level of existence. Juliana inquired about the severity of her father's illness, expressing concern for his well-being. Theo realized that while removing the latent poison was a straightforward task, the circumstances might be connected to another alchemist. Juliana told Theo he could take a break, but Theo assured her that the treatment was complete. Surprised by this statement, Juliana questioned how it could be done with just a simple gesture. Theo confidently confirmed that her father would wake up within the week, indicating the success of the treatment. Theo elaborated on the situation, explaining that there was a pinworm known for its latent poison residing inside Juliana's father's body. Over time, the insect had been draining the body of essential nutrients, leading to a gradual decline in the elder's energy. Theo recommended preparing nourishing meals with ingredients that boost stamina to aid in his father's swift recovery. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Juliana tearfully bowed down, expressing her eternal indebtedness to Theo. Theo, humble in his response, reassured her that other alchemists would have been capable of curing her father as well. However, Juliana reminded Theo of the recent attack by other alchemists and how he not only saved them but also healed her father. Feeling unable to repay his kindness, She reflected on the immense impact of his actions. Theo, reflecting to himself, acknowledged that by helping Juliana, he had repaid the favor he owed her. However, he recognized that preventing her from reciprocating the favor wasn't in line with the ways of alchemists. He considered staying for a while to gather information and restore his power. Theo then expressed his understanding to Juliana, agreeing to follow her advice. Overjoyed, Juliana, with tears of gratitude and a smile on her face, affirmed that he had made a wise choice. Juno expressed his concern about Theo's prolonged seclusion, mentioning that it had been a year since Theo last left his room. Despite Theo's initial indication that he would be secluded for a while, Juno felt the pressure from Juliana and the Lord about Theo's extended absence. He felt guilty, as if he had committed a wrongdoing and responsible for not having Theo come out yet. Theo remarked on Juno's habit of complaining while sweeping, to which Juno responded excitedly, expressing his relief that Theo had finally emerged. Theo then inquired about Juno's well-being, prompting Juno to vent about how many times Juliana and Lord had searched for him. Juno mentioned that they insisted Theo attend the upcoming New Year's celebration. Theo inquired about the upcoming New Year festivities, expressing his willingness to attend now that he didn't have to focus on training. Juno shared that the New Year festival of the Jew family was grand and impressive in scale, mentioning that this year's celebration would also commemorate the recovery of the Lord. He described the event as a big banquet and party, expecting a large turnout and lots of exciting things to see. Theo, convinced by Juno's description, acknowledged that he shouldn't miss out on such an event. On New Year's Eve, amidst the fireworks and the crowd's excitement, Theo, Juliana, and Elder Jew were at a banquet where Juliana's father was present. While observing the people, Theo's thoughts wandered as he noticed a figure in the background. Sensing a peculiar aura around the individual, he speculated that the person might be in the early stage of heavenly birth. Theo pondered the alchemist's presence at the mansion and questioned their true intentions, intrigued by the mystery surrounding their visit during the festive occasion. Lord expressed his joy at being able to witness the New Year's festival, attributing the experience to Theo. However, mid-sentence, leaving the sentence unfinished, he was surprised to find Theo's seat empty. Where did Theo go?